Many people have used Ollama to deploy multiple open-source LLMs, and used Open WebUI as the front end of Ollama. This video we will deploy a set of Ollama and Open WebUI using Terraform AWS provider. With Terraform, this can be done in 5 minutes. The GitHub link to the module can be found at the end of video. This is the README page of the repository. Let's briefly go through the design. The setup includes 2 components, one for Ollama deployment, the other for Open WebUI deployment. The image below illustrates the architecture and AWS services used. We will set up a VPC first, with private subnets and public subnets. On the right half of the diagram, that is the deployment of Open WebUI, which includes an ECS Fargate cluster and services, storage backed by AWS Elastic File System, and fronted by an external load balancer in the public subnet. It is for UI front-end access to LLMs. On the left half of the diagram, that is the deployment of Ollama services. It comprises of multiple EC2. We deploy one EC2 per LLM to avoid loading and unloading of LLM in VRAM and ensure performance of running multiple LLMs concurrently. The Ollama deployment is fronted by an internal load balance and an API gateway. This exposes the Ollama backend API access. Users can directly access LLMs via this endpoint as well. Here is a sample of how to use this Terraform module. Let's now go through what we will deploy today. Firstly, we chose deployment region to be an App Southeast 1. The VPC will be set up there. We will deploy 2 LLMs. One is Gemma 2 by Google, released just in June. The other is Qwen 2 by Alibaba. Each will run on a G5GX large instance. Here I have also provided the domain for both the Ollama API endpoint as well as Open WebUI front end. Our Open WebUI is run as ECS Fargate services with 2 tasks. Now we are starting the deployment with Terraform apply. Time is at 10:15. We will start the clock and fast forward the setup process. The Terraform apply finished in 4 minutes and output the Ollama and Open WebUI endpoints respectively. We can see the EC2 are up and running. The ECS tasks are pending. We will come back to check later. We use SSM run command to download the LLM models in each EC2. It is still pulling. We will check back in a few seconds. Our Elastic file system is ready now. Let's check our ECS tasks again. They are running now. Our SSM run command has also completed. It took us about 5 minutes 5 seconds for the entire setup. We now can access the Open WebUI front end. Pardon me for the Chinese interface. Open WebUI just released the internationalization feature, by the way. Because this is a setup from scratch, let's register an account first and log in. We can now see the 2 LLM models we just deployed are ready to use. We will talk to Gemma 2 first, asking if he knows Llama 3 and Qwen 2 as his competitors. The first query could be slower and might need to retry after model is loaded. Subsequent query will be fast, as we can see later. So this is the response from Gemma 2. Let's ask a few more questions. The response is faster now. We will try Qwen 2 as well. Asking about his multi-language capability. Now if we switch back to Gemma 2, the response should still be fast. Our 1 LLM per EC2 design allows each LLM to live within the limited EC2 VRM specification without being unloaded when we send requests to different LLMs. This is a quick demo of how our Terraform module deploys a ready-to-use setup that hosts multiple LLMs within 5 minutes. The setup provides us a nice front end with Open WebUI, as well as Ollama API endpoint to directly access each of the LLMs. We were able to access and use multiple LLMs relatively fast. Ollama API access is not demo in this video, however. It is a powerful framework with OpenAI API compatibility. This forms a ground for further development of LLM agents or applications. You may refer to Ollama API documentation to try it out. Also, Open WebUI is not just a simple chatbot front-end, it has RAG capability built in, and a lot more native integrations. The various GitHub links are listed at the back. Feel free to try it out. Last but not least, in order not to drain your wallet, remember to tear down via Terraform destroy after testing. Thanks for watching.